Sometimes you find the weirdest things when you're going to be looking into thrift shops. Today we're going to be taking a close look at a Lamborghini racing wheel. This thing was complete for only $5.50, but is it actually worth it? Let's find out. So, you're going to be finding a lot of different racing wheels when we're going to be deep diving into the rabbit hole. But this one I have never seen before. The company called Atomic. Lamborghini Automobile, so I'm guessing this is like a licensed product. However, what is interesting is that when you're going to be looking at the size difference of the massive pedals and the tiny cute little wheel. I've noticed this and I was instantly sold. I just wanted to see what is going on. So this is actually having all of the logos of the Lamborghini, having the D-pad, having over there all kinds of different buttons, and everything is implemented because this is actually PlayStation and also PC, what I understand of. So let's get into the cables. So this is going to be like a situation that we can use both. But we're going to be testing it out on the PlayStation because that's going to be convenient. And also it came with every single thing that we're going to be needing for assembly. Because that is most of the time with the problem with the wheels. If you're going to be finding one in the wild, make sure if it's going to be needing an adapter and it's going to be having all of the attachment. Some of the racing wheels will have like this situation when suction knobs, then you know there is actually nothing that you're going to be needing. But let's do a quick let's connect this thing and let's plug it in. So construction wise, this is quite interesting. So first of all, if you're going to be looking how you need to assemble, so what you're going to be doing is sliding this thing inside of it or some kind, and in this way we can actually hook it up. Yeah, I'm just going to be figuring out how or what. Well, that's actually the idea. What you can also do is like click these pieces of plastic on and you can just put it on your lap. So okay, there's a lot of ways you can actually play. And what you're going to be doing is sliding this thing in here. That's it. And then we're going to be putting it like that. And we can use this nut, this massive nut. Just like screw it on and connect it to my desk. But let's see if I can actually connect it because my desk is very thin. And that's going to be a problem or not. Nope. We can do a very nice configuration this way. Okay, great. Okay, so the next thing we need to do is get this thing in the certain position, because I can tell you, doing this with one hand, it's not going to be a good idea. But after everything is connected, it seems to be working just fine. So we do still have a little bit of a movement. I was thinking about putting the pin a little bit further in, but that doesn't do anything, so I'm guessing this is the one we're going to be having. What I do like though, having micro switch shifters over there. So the form factor is kind of basic. We do have a little bit of rubber over there, but nothing very fancy. So but let's move on to the pedals. The pedals are interesting also too, because you can have like different, let's say, configurations, slightly different configurations. And the springs underneath are different. So where this is a very old basic wheel, they did put some effort in. But let's get into some Gran Turismo to see how accurate this thing is. So let's start off with the pedal. Okay, so does this thing actually work, or is it going to be absolutely a horrible experience? Okay, can we use the acceleration? Can I have, do you have analog or digital? Okay, that seems to be working fine. Wow, the rumble function in this thing is quite aggressive for this tiny cute little wheel. Okay, another thing is how does this actually work out when it comes to the overall playability, because well, this thing does have like some amazing rumble function. I do have the idea it's quite difficult to actually get this thing going and keep it on the road, because I don't have really any feeling. Oh, okay. So what we do have absolutely a dead zone. You can see this part doesn't do anything. So that's one thing to be sure. The pedals are something I do really like, because the pedals are amazing. But again, I think this is going to be a situation that we're going to be getting used to this. But for overall simulation, this is not like the most perfect way to play. We've tested out all kinds of different brands, and I must say when it comes to brands, the Logitech one was still one of my favorite ones. I have no idea what just happened. My wheel is doing some really wicked things. Why is it in my... Okay, let's try that again, because that is weird. What? Seriously, my wheel was giving some random inputs. I couldn't drive anymore. I tried to shift but nope. The rumble function in combination with the spring that is inside makes it okay. But again, here it goes. This wheel is absolutely garbage. Let's try a different game to see if it's going to be any better. So let's have some fun with some Burnout. I'm really curious how accurate this is. Okay, do you have the idea? This is looking so much better. Oh yeah. So it's not going to be all that bad. So this is going to be a situation of hit or miss, where I was expecting to have like a good situation with some other games like the Gran Turismo, their simulation, but no, this semi-arcade racer seems to be working way better than I was expecting. So yeah, that's great, man. I think it's absolutely great to see still there are a couple of games are working with a cheap, really interesting Lamborghini racing wheel. Rich Racer, let's see what's going on with this. Whoa! What is going on? What is going on? Okay, wait. Okay, so we're going to be enabling the analog mode, then it seems not to be working. Oh man, I need to drive like that. There we go. Okay. Okay, now it's doing no crazy things. Okay, that was kind of weird. Okay, doesn't matter. We have a dead zone with this game, but I think it's not going to be giving us like an unplayable situation. Can we actually do a little bit of drifting? Whoa, the vibrator mode, you can hear this thing rumble. Oh, I'm so surprised by it, how tiny and how aggressive that is. Oh yeah, that seems to be working fine. So when it comes to playing the games, it's cool, but it's going to be a hit or miss that we have seen before. And also, I don't know what's going on with the pedals. I mean, like a maximum speed or what? So the pedals on this thing are great. Okay, there's nothing to complain there, or at least if they actually work, because I have the feeling that acceleration isn't working like it's supposed to be. It's something weird, random inputs it's giving. It's really, really weird when it comes to that. So yeah, this wheel is completely messed up when it comes to that. The Lamborghini racing wheel, I think there's a collaboration with Atomic and Lamborghini. Yeah, so when it comes to this like gigantic pedal set and this tiny racing wheel, so first of all, the rumble motor of the thing is great. And if you're going to be finding a compatible game, we can have some fun if the wheel is not going to be doing some weird shenanigans. But out of the box, yeah, it's going to be a hit or miss, the situation that we had back in the day, like in the 90s with those first generation of racing wheels. Thank you all for watching, consider subscribing, and it will be great to see you in the next video.